What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for something completely different. Right before the new year, I was actually contacted by Charles of Overlord Gear, who came onto my Facebook page, and he said, "Hey, we saw your reviews online, and we dig what you do, and we were wondering if you wanted to review our product." And I said, "Sure, you know, I've never really reviewed a product. It's mostly toys, but, you know, why not? Overlord Gear, I love Overlord as a Transformer, why not?" So, yeah, you can check them out, facebook.com/Overlord Gear, and they make basically third-party lids for your tumblers. They tout that there's 60 different tumblers that they fit. Obviously, you need to have the right size lid for a 10 or 20 ounce or a 30 ounce tumbler. But they say they're upgrades for your typical tumblers like the Yeti brand, Arctic, Ozark Trail, Rocky Mountain tumblers. Basically anything that clones that Yeti style, this should work with. And I've been delayed on this for a little bit because up until recently I actually only had a tumbler that had threads on the inside, and these just won't work for them. So I had to get a new Yeti tumbler here, which we have here, and it comes with your stock lid. And just for, you know, the purposes of understanding what it is, it's just a transparent lid with the hole in it, and that's it. You got the seal around the edge here, which they do advertise on these lids that if your lid doesn't seal tight, you might be able to remove this lid from the stock lid, which kind of looks like this, to get that extra bit of tightness. But for a Yeti, there was nothing that needed to be done. And so these lids just kind of go into place, and then you got a nice seal there, with the exception of the big pour spout. So they sent me two types of lids. We have the quote-unquote spill resistant lid, which has a little locking sliding mechanism on here, just to kind of keep it closed and sealed. Very easy to clean. You can pop it out from this side and pull it off so you can clean the whole thing. I use this thing pretty well daily, and it's taken a couple tumbles now, so it's been given a test, that's for sure. So this is the spill resistant, and we'll get to that. And so this one here is your spill proof lid, and this one has the two stopper pieces that really nicely clamp in around this plastic here, and once this is in place, it completely stops it from leaking. So let's actually get to a test on these things, and stay tuned to the end because they've given me a bunch of these to give away, and I'm going to tell you how. So this is the first for the review space. We're in the bathroom, and we're actually going to go ahead and fill our tumbler with water and just show you the differences between all the lids. So let's just jump cut to a full tumbler. So to show the difference, we've got our tumbler filled with water, and here's our standard Yeti lid. Just goes on nice and easy. Obviously it has a big hole there. Let me make sure it's flat so we're not being unfair here. And as you would expect, if it tips over, it just pours straight out. There is a little air hole here, which I'm not sure if you can see, but in the event that it's upside down in that direction, it's just going to pour out. So the only time you actually have any kind of spill resistance is, maybe you can see the water there, I hope, I'm not sure, but as long as the water line is not up to either of these holes, otherwise it's just going to start leaking. So next up is our spill resistant lid. You can see we have liquid all the way to the top here. I did want to show that these lids go on relatively simplistic, not too much force needed, and they hold tight enough. It's actually more force to take them off than put them on, so it does hold on to that well. We're not going to show the next part. I'll show that on the spill proof lid, but this is the resistant. It's not intended to be spill proof. Now I will say, when it's connected here, I do get this little gap. It doesn't ever seem to completely go flush there, so sometimes when you're drinking a coffee, you get some coffee in there, and you know, it's a little bit weird at times, but it works fine. So obviously this is resistant. The lid is closed, and you can see it still leaks, but not nearly the same as the open lid. Yeah, on the side, if I start shaking it, it'll come out, and I think that's because the lid just slid open. But when the lid's closed, not much. And a perk I found about the lid being like this is when your coffee is piping hot, this is a good way to get a little sip without burning the heck out of yourself. That's a nice feature that I use fairly often. When it comes to the other side here, I mean, you're still going to get a lid if it gets to the air hole, which is relatively similarly positioned. So It's not really stopping too much, but yeah, it's a resistant lid. It's not a spill-proof lid. Also, before we go on to the spill-proof lid, I wanted to point out that Charles told me your spill-resistant lid is really for like your hot coffees, your sodas, anything that you would get a pressure in your container or you need something to escape. So you wouldn't use this for just like water. I mean, you could, but that's where you would want something like this. This is good for like ice water or something like that. This is good for soda and coffee and hot beverages and stuff. So finally we have the spill-proof lid, and that just pegs right in the same. And I just wanted to show that, like upside down, I mean there's nothing coming out of there. Even shaking this thing, I can get some drops to come out with some shaking, but it's not taking the lid off of here. So it secures it very nice. And as you can see, side angle, absolutely nothing, no leaking. Like this is great when you're on the go or, you know, want some ice water, and it, you know, it pours just fine until you seal it and then it stops. It's fantastic. It does exactly what it's supposed to. So I thought we could do something pretty scientific here, an experiment. We're going to take the standard Yeti lid here, and we're going to take the Overlord ink one here. This is just the spill-resistant one, not the spill-proof one. We're going to see how they compare if we put hot water in it and come back like an hour from now. And we're doing it super scientific with a meat thermometer here, but it should work. So we're going to start with the Yeti, and what we're going to do is wait for this light to turn off so we know it's ready. And we'll fill it to exactly the same part in here. For our case, we're going to fill it all the way up to the top. We'll put our Yeti lid on. We're going to open our thermometer here. 68 in this house. And we can see so as you can see, roughly our boiling water gets to 204, 205 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to come back in about an hour and we will see what the temperature has done. So it's been an hour now and we're back looking, and it looks like we've lost just about 30 degrees from our boiling water. 32 by the looks of it. So that's with the Yeti lid. So virtually any second we should see this light turning off here, which means that we're ready to go. Same ambient conditions in the house. It's still sitting at 67 degrees. We're gonna fill our tumbler back up to that top line, and now this time we're going to use the Overlord ink spill resistant lid, which has this sliding thing, just to show. Well, it says 69, but it's still kind of cooling down from last time. So we're going to put this on, and theoretically, hopefully, we should see a lesser temperature difference in the hour that we wait. So here we go, we got the thermometer in 204, so we'll check this in about an hour, 1 degree off from what we were before, but it should be good enough. So let's go ahead, close this up, and we'll be back in an hour. Okay, so it's another hour later, and we're gonna come back, open this lid, once again, take our thermometer here, and let's just see what happens. So last time I think we had about a 30 degree difference. So it looks like we might be around a 20 degree difference. Getting there. So it looks like within about an hour we've lost about, I think it was 204 before, so 24 degrees versus 32. So that's a 8 degree difference. It doesn't seem like it'd be huge, but I mean, you know, another hour, if we lose a chunk of that, you can just see how when you have the sealed lid, it's going to help you retain that heat a little bit longer. So as you can see, Overlord ink has given me 15 lids here to give away. It's not an exact match between the 20 ounce spill proof and the 20 ounce spill resistant, nor the 30 ounce spill proof and the 30 ounce spill resistant. So it's first come, first serve. I'm going to give away the spill proof and spill resistant together until I'm out, and then it'll just be the spill resistant until I'm out. And if I don't have 20 ounce, if they're all spoken for, then I'll let you know. Say they're gone and all I have left are the 30s. They're completely free. I just ask if you could PayPal the $2 it costs to ship these anywhere in the US, and we'll get them out right away. Other than that, completely free giveaway here. And hopefully you guys will enjoy these lids as much as I did. So this is T2RX6. Big shout out again to Charles and Overlord Inc. for letting me take a look at these and sending all these to give away to you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this something different. I'll see you next time.